Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Introduce myself. My name is Sabri Malik, and I'm from class 4A. And now I would like to explain my opinion about the education during a pandemic. Starting 2020, the world was shocked by the emergence of a highly contagious and deadly outbreak of the coronavirus. Starting from Wuhan, China, the coronavirus quickly became a global epidemic in almost all countries in the world. All aspects of life have changed as a result of a global outbreak. Here in after referred to as the COVID-19 pandemic, the world of education is no exception. Similar to the situation in other countries, all schools in Indonesia are closed for an undetermined period of time. The learning process is carried out remotely. Learning has changed drastically. Homes, of course, this hinders the learning process that has been planned in advance. Then, what about the curriculum achievement targets in the form of learning in this pandemic period? The article of the Minister of Education and Culture of the Republic of Indonesia hints not to impose targets for achieving a complete learning curriculum in schools, starting with prevention with the emergence of the Minister of Education and Culture of the Republic in Indonesia number 3 2020, date March 9 2020, concerning uh, prevention of coronavirus disease COVID-19 in education units. Then it was reaffirmed with the next circular as Minister of Education and Culture of the Republic of Indonesia number 4 2022, date March 24 2022, 2020, regarding the implementation of education policies in the emergency period of the spread of coronavirus disease COVID-19. The last circular implied a policy not to impose curriculum completeness achievements. Some of these policies include eliminating the national examination and allowing schools that have not held to the school examination not to hold it. Some policies also provide tolerance for schools to adjust the learning process from home. Um, but both students and teachers are required to quickly adapt to a change. Is the distance learning process, the teacher must be good at adjusting the learning process he designed. There are many choices and variations of distance learning media, from using social media to using the existing learning management system platform. It's still lucky if the learning process can still be done online. Some areas with limited facilities and infrastructure and far from the reach of the internet will be very difficult. It is a challenge for teachers to adapt the learning process to existing conditions. Um, the next challenge is how to choose the right way so that distance learning can be implemented optimally. There are things that lighten the burden of teachers, as stated in the circular of the Minister of Education and Culture number 4 2020. In the circular letter, teachers are given leeway so that they are not burdened with completing all curriculum achievements. Teachers are given a very wide space to explore and maximize the form of learning they choose. Teachers can freely choose learning according to existing conditions. However, do not let this freedom sacrifice the future fate of students. For this reason, anticipatory steps are needed, which are divided into three times: short term, medium term, and long term. Um, there is no base learning method and no words method. That is what underlies teachers to be able to really adjust learning in this pandemic period. The main guideline is how students can get a learning experience that is close to the same as normal conditions. Teachers are also given leeway in providing feedback on assignment given to students. The Ministry of Education and Culture's policy also emphasizes that giving feedback by teachers is more qualitative and useful without being required to give a score or quantitative, so that students are not burdened with feedback given by the teacher. In the short term, teacher play more of a direct role in adapting the learning process during the COVID-19 pandemic. And uh, with after the COVID-19 pandemic ends, remedial teaching steps are needed to improve curriculum achievements. The alternative is to program the matriculation to repeat the learning material to accelerate catching up. This can be achieved with support of the school and the approval of the education office. This program cannot be determined when it will start because the COVID-19 pandemic cannot be predicted when it will end. However, schools and education office can start thinking about preparing for this medium term. Uh, at this time, the world is facing a big problem, starting from the emergence of a disease outbreak caused by a virus, namely the coronavirus, which is familiar called COVID-19. Almost all aspects of life undergo change um, that are uh, increasingly uh, which causes a lack of interaction and concern for others. Uh, behind behind the sadness of all parts of the world, We must be able to take lessons from this COVID-19 pandemic. This uh, this COVID-19 pandemic may come as a test for all of us. Whether we are able to educate the nation's life even in conditions like this. Hopefully, this sample stroke is useful. Amin, amin ya rabbal alamin. Okay, everyone. I think that's all from me. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.